Hello everyone, I'm Rituja. I'm Venture Services Manager at Altitude Accelerator, and today we are speaking with Altitude's alumni, CEO, and co-founder of MyCourier Inc., Moatassem Moatez. Thanks for joining us, Moatez.
Pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Moatassem is an entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and founder and CEO of MyCourier Inc., an award-winning last-mile delivery company based in Ontario. Less than a year after he relocated his family to Oakville, Ontario, he founded MyCourier during COVID-19 pandemic. In 2022, he was honored as Entrepreneur of the Year at the Oakville Awards for Business Excellence presented by Oakville Chamber of Commerce. He's currently an active leader on the Chamber's Board of Directors, where he provides leadership, oversees policies, and guides the community alongside fellow innovators and entrepreneurs. In just 3 years, MyCourier has employed over 70 drivers and more than 110 employees. And he had built his team, sustainable partnership. He ha- will cut it, right? In just 3 years, MyCourier has employed over 70 drivers and more than 110 employees. He and his team have built a sustainable partnership with mega e-retailer Amazon. Not only has MyCourier expanded its operations, but they have also made a positive impact on their clients, partners, and the community. By prioritizing customer satisfaction and operational excellence, MyCourier has become one of the trusted partners for businesses across GTA, enhancing their delivery capabilities and contributing to their success. So dive right in. As the founder and CEO of MyCourier Inc., what are some of the most significant challenges you faced in establishing and scaling a last mile delivery service during pandemic, and how did you overcome them?
Thank you, by the way, for the introduction. I mean, that's an interesting introduction, and when you hear the introduction, you become very grateful, for the journey that had been there. So, starting a business in general is hard. It's a really hard thing, and I mean, you worked a lot with startup businesses and entrepreneurs, and you know the whole struggle that people are in. Add to it a little bit of a cherry over the cake, which is during the pandemic, which becomes even much harder. But I can tell you one thing. I think the pandemic was a fortunate, at least for our business, because delivery business in general and courier had increased because of the online surge that happened during the pandemic. The challenge that had been there were two challenges that I had mainly. One challenge was understanding the industry itself, and another challenge was building a capacity during a time that was chaos, uncertainty. People are all worried. Even the people that are working inside the company were worried. They didn't know, should we actually go on the road? We should not go on the road. We were getting permits because we were frontliners, so we were able to drive on the road without having any issues. So this was one of the major sort of challenges. Yet one more thing I'm going to add, and I think this is also key for any new business that is starting, having the validity and credibility that you are a genuine business is a really hard thing. Not every client will really believe that you are going to be there after a year. Are you reliable? Are you a partner that I can really trust with my organization and my operation or not? So I would say the one thing that I was trying to focus on was how can I show my customers and my partners that I'm a reliable business that is sustainable and going there on.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think trust is the key, which makes a lot of difference in business. Throughout your career, you have held various leadership positions in diverse markets and industries. How have these experiences shaped your approach to leadership and business strategy in your current role at MyCourier Inc.?
I think when you think of it, starting a business is the same as sports, which means that you start a certain sport. Let's say you go to the gym. At the beginning, you're not sure how to go around, what type of workout you're gonna do, until you reach to a level that you start knowing more about yourself, more about the gym, and then you start performing. So I would say the same thing happened with me in the business. Is I started with this ambiguity, not knowing what I'm doing. Literally, I'm like just on the job training, trying to understand, trying to navigate. But then you reach to this sweet spot that you're able to understand how can you really scale, how can you really structure, how can you hire a team, how can you train, how can you retain, all the different matrix that makes you build an organization that is not just a one-off for a pandemic and then you're off, that is more sustainable, that you actually be able to grow a team, build their career, and make them enjoy the work that is there. And I think this is one of the things that helped me from my earliest days. And sometimes people would say, you're starting a business, it looks quite easy. And I tell people, if someone has a business and he shows that it's easy, trust me, there's a lot of work that is happening back end to show that it's as easy as it is.
Your resiliency is really inspiring. Thanks, Moatassem. Since arriving in Canada in August 2019, just before the pandemic, you managed to start MyCourier, wear multiple hats at the organization, and grow your team to more than 110 employees. So, what has been the key motivator that has kept you driven, determined throughout these challenging times?
Interesting one. This is a really interesting question, and I'll tell you why. Because I think the motivator changes depending on the stage of your business and also your own age. My first motivation starting it was survival. Full stop. I need to make sure lights are on, I'm able to pay the bills. So I didn't have any other thing in mind, and sometimes they say it is my back was against the wall, so I didn't have anything else to lose. I had to move forward. So I think survival was the first part. The second part that you move in after you start this structuring and you become to have a sort of a company is how can I really add value to my customers? And this becomes a motivator because this is the way you're able to grow. And then the third one, which I think this is the phase I'm in right now, is how can I add value also to my team? How can I make sure that each and every person that is working in this company, they look at it and they say, you know what, we're really gaining something out of this company. There is a win-win. And that becomes this third motivation. So depending which stage you're in, try to tune in your motivation because this is the only thing that will push you forward when it becomes really hard, when you have this bump across the road, when it's foggy and you're not sure which direction to go. It's these sort of small motivations that will push you one step forward.
Thank you. I can see why you deserve all the awards and you have such amazing clients, and we wish you all the success. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, and I wish you have a great event today. It's an amazing event, and you guys are doing an amazing thing. And it's just one last thing I want to say is a big shout out to Altitude because, to be fair, yes, I'm an alumni out of it. I had joined your program for 3 months, and the things that I learned out of it from sales, from marketing, from lead funnels is amazing. But most important, this network is also a great gain out of it. So thank you very much.
Thanks for the shout out, and we are happy to help you and be your cheerleaders.